the top, it's time for a new video to drop. And today, I'm playing WWE 2K22 MyGM, but it's the SmackDown Here Comes the Pain roster. Now, if you guys do go on to enjoy this video, make sure you drop a like. If I get 1,000 likes on this video within the first 24 hours of me uploading it, I'll do a WWE 2K22 Universe Mode video with this WWE 2K22 SmackDown Here Comes the Pain roster database. Now, with every WWE 2K22 MyGM video, I need to choose my GM, and you would think that I would go with style and grace. Never gonna be like another queen, Stephanie McMahon, but no, I'm actually not gonna choose Stephanie McMahon. At least not this Stephanie McMahon, because I'm all grown up now. Let's go ahead and choose the Ruthless Aggression era of Stephanie McMahon. It is time to choose Stephanie McMahon from the Ruthless Aggression era, which gives us the beginner's luck attribute, our power card, if you will, which can raise the popularity of the superstar with the lowest popularity on your roster by plus 20. That is an insane power card to use, and I'm absolutely going to be looking forward to using that here in this video. Now, what brand do we want? Of course, I'm going to go with the blue brand. I'm going with SmackDown, as that's what Stephanie McMahon actually used in real life. It is only fitting, if I am Stephanie McMahon on SmackDown, and this is the Here Comes the Pain roster, that we got to go up against Eazy-E on Monday Night Raw. I moved the AI difficulty up to normal, as my first ever MyGM video was on easy. So let's see if I can win here on normal. And I'm going to go into the draft pool real quick and show you guys exactly how I did this. If I go into my status and change it to active superstars only, you will see in this Here Comes the Pain draft pool that I have made, we have every member of the SmackDown Here Comes the Pain roster. Some of their names are misspelled here on this menu because they use the abbreviated names for whatever reason on this menu. But we have literally every single superstar that was in SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, and we are going to be choosing from these superstars here today in the draft, which let's go ahead and get right on in to the WWE 2K22 MyGM SmackDown Here Comes the Pain GM mode draft. Each GM will start with a budget of $200, or is that million? That's $2,750,000. I can't read numbers. GMs will take turns drafting one after the other, starting with player one. There will be 8 rounds of drafting. After the 8th round, drafting becomes optional. GMs can opt out or draft until they are out of cash. Tip, GMs can press the R3 button to get recommendations on who to draft. You can also press square to get more information about a superstar. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right on into the draft. If I sort by popularity, our number one draft pick becomes very, very, very obvious. I'm taking the next big thing. I'm taking Brock Lesnar as the number one draft pick. Now, who are they going to take as their first draft pick? Wow! They took Jazz as their first draft pick. That's a really good pick, but I'm about to take the doctor of thugonomics. Give me John Cena from the Ruthless Aggression era. That's right. Wow! Another woman. They took Torrey Wilson as their second pick on Monday Night Raw. I mean, they do have that women's title. I guess we technically do too in this version of my GM. Let me go ahead and get a little Stone Cold. Since Stone Cold Steve Austin returned to in-ring competition last night at Wrestlemania, facing off against Kevin Owens at the time of this recording. Absolute stunning match. No pun intended, but I'm going to take Stone Cold. Who are they taking? They took Bubba Ray Dudley. That's cool, y'all. Y'all can take Bubba Ray Dudley. Let me go ahead and get The Undertaker. This roster we're building right now is crazy. Y'all took Sheiky, baby? Y'all took Sheiky, baby? All right, that's fine. Y'all can take Sheiky, baby. Go ahead and give me Rob Van Dam as my next draft pick. We are stacking up this roster, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful roster to stack up as well. Y'all really left me with Eddie Guerrero after taking Kevin Nash. Y'all done goofed. You goofed. Go ahead and give me Viva la Raza. Go ahead and give me Eddie Guerrero. Y'all took A-Train? They took A-Train, bro? All right, hold up. Let me go ahead and get Lita real quick. Let me go ahead and grab a woman real quick to put on this roster. Lita might very well be our first women's champion as well. I'm just going to put that out there. Let me go ahead and grab Lita, though. Who are they going to grab? That was my next pick! Oh, I waited too long for Trish Stratus, and they took Trish Stratus. You son of a bitch. All right, but it's all good because I hear the voices in my head, running through my head, running through my head, running through my head. Give me Victoria. I love this roster, by the way. Oh my goodness. They took the legend killer Randy Orton. I'll give it to you. We've now reached the optional drafting phase of the draft, which is pretty cool. I'm going to keep going a little bit longer. We got $1 million left. Let me go ahead and scoop up Chris Jericho real quick. The Ayatollah of rock and roll. They took Goldberg. That's kind of crazy that they took Goldberg. I'm not going to lie. But you know what? We have $882,000 left. Let me go ahead and grab somebody who I feel is a very big part of SmackDown. Give me somebody who debuted video game-wise in SmackDown. Here comes the pain. Give me Rey Mysterio. That's right. I'm taking the cover boy, Rey Mysterio. Who they got next? Ric Flair, the Nature Boy. All right, I see y'all with the Nature Boy. But I'm going to go ahead now, and I think I might have to take, let's see, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, looking pretty good right now. Let me go ahead and grab HBK. Y'all took Chavo? I can't do Los Guerreros now, huh? I really can't do Los Guerreros now, huh? We got Lita, we got Victoria. We're going to pick up some free agency signings. Don't you worry, child. I'm thinking about grabbing The Rock. So let me go ahead and grab The Rock real quick. This is an all-timer roster right now. I'm just putting that out there in the air tonight. No Phil Collins as they draft Sable. You got to be kidding me. Now, this might be one of my last picks, if not second to last pick. I'm going to go with the rated, well, he wasn't yet, was he? No, he was on my Durango, number 95. Let me go ahead and grab Edge real quick. I'll go ahead and, he really took Stacy, bro? Really? We got the fight after you took Stacy. Now, this is definitely going to be the last pick of my draft. So I'm starting to think maybe, oh man, Ultimo Dragon would be kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of good people left. Shelton Benjamin comes to mind as somebody I might want to scoop up real quick. But you know what? I think that I'm going to take the Gamer, Triple H, here in this last pick. Round 14, and look at that. You can't really see a lot because Stephanie McMahon's covering it up, but it's all good, ladies and gentlemen. We got a killer roster. Now, what am I going to do with these titles? Wait, what are they doing? You took Nikolai Volkov? Is that your last pick? Your last pick was Nikolai Volkov. You really needed Nikolai, didn't you, Eric Bischoff? So our starting WWE, well, I guess this would just be WWE Champion at the time, is probably going to be Brock Lesnar because I feel like, obviously, it raises your pop-up by 10. I think if we go with Brock, oh, actually, I don't know. Maybe we should go with Stone Cold since Brock's already at a 61. Actually, I'm going to go with my first instinct here. I'm going to go with Brock Lesnar. That raises his popularity up to 71. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing with Lita as well. Raise her up to a 63. So Lita and Brock Lesnar will be our starting champions here on SmackDown. And y'all already know I got to go ahead and we got to go ahead and move over to these power card screens real quick. Let's go ahead and jump right on into it. I have the Birth of Legends power card, which increases 6 random superstars' popularity by +6. So we're going to go ahead and use that right out the gate. The Rock, Eddie Guerrero, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Lita, let's go, Victoria, let's go, and John Cena have all been raised by +6 popularity, which is a very, very good thing for us as it's going to be very easy to figure out what our opening feuds are going to be here on our SmackDown Here Comes the Pain MyGM. Our match card for week 1 goes as follows. We're kicking things off with The Undertaker against Hollywood Rock. In our opening contest, we got Lita calling out Victoria as your reigning women's champion. We got in our mid-card match a tag match with RVD and Rey Mysterio going up against Chris Jericho and Triple H. We then have a call-out promo from the Doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena, calling out The Undertaker. In the main event of the evening, Brock Lesnar is facing Eddie Guerrero in a non-title match. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right on in to see the results of week 1. The Rock has defeated The Undertaker. We had Triple H and Chris Jericho defeat RVD and Rey Mysterio, and Brock Lesnar defeated Eddie Guerrero. But if we go into this, we will quickly learn, all right, never mind, I hit the wrong button. So right out the gate, Raw has defeated us in week 1 with Iron Sheik and Jazz being their main champions, which is kind of a head scratcher to me with the Iron Sheik, but I mean, Eric Bischoff, you do you, baby. It's clearly working. Now, I accidentally skipped past the screen before we saw what Raw had up against us, but we will fix that for week 2, which let's go ahead and see what our card is in week 2. Week 2 looks as follows. We open things up with Eddie Guerrero versus The Rock. We got Victoria doing a call-out promo against Lita because Triple H, the commissioner, which is weird because he's on our card as well. You know, it's all right. It's just the way the game works. But Triple H, the commissioner, has told us that we need to put Victoria in a promo, so that's what we did. We got Triple H battling Shawn Michaels in our mid-card match. After that, Stone Cold Steve Austin, who actually interfered in Brock Lesnar's match last week against Eddie Guerrero, is calling out Brock Lesnar here tonight. And in the main event of the evening, John Cena gets a hardcore match against The Undertaker. So let's go ahead and see what these results are looking like. Brock has defeated Eddie Guerrero in the opening contest. Victoria and Lita do their thing. Shawn Michaels defeats Triple H. We then have, of course, the call-out promo between the Stone Cold Steve Austin and Brock Lesnar. And in the main event of the evening, John Cena does defeat The Undertaker to pick up a huge upset, which we did tie a 3-star main event. However, our opening and mid-card did not live up to Monday Night Raw, which let's take a look at what Raw put on. They had an opening TLC match with A-Train, Nikolai Volkov, Chavo Guerrero, and Kevin Nash. You then had a self-promo with Goldberg. Sable defeated Trish Stratus in a TLC match. Then Stacy Keibler cut a promo. And in the main event of the evening, Bubba Ray Dudley is your new WWE champion by defeating the Iron Sheik. So, you know what? Y'all putting on title matches? I think it's about time we throw in a title match as well to SmackDown. I think the next week we about to get real interesting. Once again, though, Monday Night Raw has defeated us in the ratings. So Monday Night Raw is once again higher up than SmackDown is. But don't worry, that's only 2 weeks in. We got a little ways to go. Our week 3 card is as follows. We open things up with a TLC match for the Women's Championship between Lita and Victoria. After that, we got Eddie Guerrero in a charity promo. We then have Triple H versus Shawn Michaels in the mid-card match. RVD is calling out Chris Jericho. In the main event of the evening, the Doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena, and Brock Lesnar will team up to take on Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker. Let's go ahead and check out these results. Lita is still our women's champion. Triple H has defeated Shawn Michaels, and in the main event of the evening, Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker do defeat Brock Lesnar and John Cena, which it warrants to me a big title match for old Stone Cold Steve over there, if you ask me. But let's go ahead and take a look at what Monday Night Raw put up against us. In our opening contest, we had I believe this is a tag match with Kevin Nash and Chavo Guerrero versus Nikolai Volkov and A-Train. We then had a call-out promo with Iron Sheik and Bubba Ray Dudley. After that, Trish Stratus faced off against Sable in an Extreme Rules match. They had a Women's Championship match where Torrey Wilson has defeated Jazz. We then have a self-promo with Goldberg. So it looks like, especially from looking at the drama curve, that Monday Night Raw probably defeated us again. But that's all right. We're learning. We're getting better. There's a long line of weeks going on with this, baby, and we are absolutely gonna keep pushing through, and that's fine, but the gap is not that high, Eazy-E, and we on your tail, baby. So let's go ahead and check out that week 4 card real quick. Week 4 is actually looking like this. We're kicking things off non-title Brock Lesnar versus Stone Cold Steve Austin in a normal match. After that, we got Lita calling out Victoria, talking a little trash after defending her championship in a TLC match. We then got Edge and Shawn Michaels teaming up because Shawn Michaels came to my email and said, hey, buddy, I'd love a tag team with Edge. So I said, you know what? Let's do that on this show, actually. We put him up against Triple H and Chris Jericho. After that, we got an advertising promo with Hollywood Rock to hopefully bump up his popularity. And in the main event of the evening, John Cena and The Undertaker battle off yet again. So let's go ahead and check out the results from week 4. Brock Lesnar has defeated Stone Cold Steve Austin, which, I mean, maybe we don't give him the pay-per-view match now, but what I do know is for certain, and that is that Lita did call out Victoria, which raised up that rivalry. We also did discover a rivalry with this one. After that, we got Michaels and Edge versus Triple H and Jericho, which now has a level 1 rivalry. I don't know how I feel about that. The Rock did do his advertising promo. In the main event of the evening, we got The Undertaker and John Cena Cena in a normal match. It doesn't show a rivalry, though, which I'm not sure why. It should be a rivalry, right? Nevertheless, what did Monday Night Raw have? Bubba Ray Dudley and Kevin Nash do defeat A-Train and Nikolai Volkov. We got Stacy Keibler in a cell promo. Goldberg does defeat Randy Orton. Trish Stratus and Sable have a call-out promo. In the main event of the evening, Jazz is yet again your women's champion, defeating Torrey in a women's championship tables match. Huge win right there for Monday Night Raw, and I'll give it to him. I understand Monday Night Raw once again is your winner, and now we're down a little bit more, I do believe, than where we were just at, but we about to come on to Backlash, and we about to take a lead. That's all I'm trying to say. Wrestlemania Backlash, or as I like to call it from SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, we just call it Backlash, looks as follows. We kick things off with John Cena versus The Undertaker in a tables match. I'm really looking forward to that one. We got Chris Jericho calling out RVD. After that, Shawn Michaels battles Triple H in a normal match. We don't want to go too crazy here. We got to calm him down a little bit. We then have Eddie Guerrero doing some charity, hopefully to raise his popularity up. After that, we got an Extreme Rules match for the Women's Championship between Lita and, who do you think, Victoria. I'm definitely going to need to visit free agency after this pay-per-view. After that, we got a charity promo with The Rock to hopefully raise his popularity. In the main event of the evening, we got the WWE Championship on the line with Brock Lesnar facing Stone Cold Steve Austin in a tables match. So let's see the results of this pay-per-view. John Cena has defeated The Undertaker, and after that, we got Shawn Michaels defeating Triple H. You'll love to see that. And after that, we got Lita defeating Victoria to still be our women's champion. And after that, a little Stone Cold has won the WWE Championship here at WrestleMania Backlash. And from the looks of it, we are defeating Raw here at the pay-per-view, which you love to see. They only booked Ric Flair versus Bubba Ray Dudley, the Iron Sheik versus Kevin Nash, Nikolai Volkov versus Goldberg, and Trish Stratus versus Sable. Looks like they didn't think to book any title matches. Now tell me, did we take the lead here? I hope we did. We are winning. Let's go, bro. I told you, Easy. I was coming for that W. Now we are in the lead with 477,000 fans compared to Raw's 1,475,000 fans. So it's not too big of a lead. I'm not going to get too excited here, but moving into the next week, oh, I feel good. Week 6 looks like this. Brock Lesnar is facing Eddie Guerrero, and I hear with a little birdie in my ear that Stone Cold Steve Austin is looking to get involved in that match. We're going to have a call-out promo with Shawn Michaels calling out Triple H because Shawn hit me up and said, hey, bro, I'm a master of the mic. I want a chance to promo this week. So I said, hey, no problem, because I need to rush Triple H anyways this week. So we got a little call-out promo there. Chris Jericho is battling RVD as they got a little bit of a feud going on right now. Victoria is calling out Lita to keep that going for just a little bit longer as they are in the level 3, of their feud. In the main event of the evening, another big feud we got going on is John Cena and The Undertaker. This is an Extreme Rules match. I do believe this might end the feud, so hopefully that happens. But nevertheless, let's see the results of Week 6. Eddie Guerrero has defeated Brock Lesnar, which kind of throws out some interesting things. I'm not going to lie. Brock Lesnar might not get that shot at Stone Cold Steve after all. We then had Chris Jericho defeat RVD. And after that, John Cena has defeated, The Undertaker has defeated John Cena, but it looks like The Undertaker has an injury for 1 week. Oh no, you hate to see that. And it does look like, if my math is correct, that we did defeat Monday Night Raw yet again. We are on a little hot streak here as they open things up with Kevin Nash and Chavo Guerrero versus Nikolai Volkov and A-Train. Then Torrey Wilson had a little promo. We then had Goldberg and Randy Orton, with Randy Orton winning. Jazz called out Torrey Wilson, and then Bubba Ray Dudley beat the Iron Sheik. So it looks like we have won yet again, but just to make sure, baby, let's see if we are still in the lead or not. We are still in the lead, but we are in the lead with 1,534,000 compared to 1,521,000 from Raw. We're not that far in the lead, so again, we're not going to get too far ahead of ourselves, but let's go into the next week. Week 7 is as follows. We're kicking things off with Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. I got a really good rivalry going on. Hopefully that works out. A little Stone Cold is going to call out Brock Lesnar. We got Chris Jericho versus RVD, as they also have a little bit of a rivalry going on around these parts. John Cena is going to be doing a call-out promo on The Undertaker because they're still not finished yet, even though Mean Mark Calloway has a week off right now for injury. And in the main event of the evening, Lita is defending that Women's Championship against Victoria. So let's go ahead and take a look at these results. Shawn Michaels defeats Triple H. We then have RVD defeating Chris Jericho. And last but certainly not least, Victoria is our new Women's Champion, defeating Lita. Meanwhile, Stone Cold Steve has called out Brock Lesnar, and John Cena called out The Undertaker. It looks like Raw definitely beat us this week because we tied in our opener, we tied in our mid-card, but our main event just wasn't packing. Let's go ahead and see what they did. They opened with a TLC match between Sable and Torrey Wilson. We then had a tables match with Randy Orton versus Goldberg. And in the main event, we had a tables match. You guys got to go all through those efforts to do that, to beat me? That's kind of funny if you ask me, because it looks to be that we are still in the #1 spot against Monday Night Raw. You love to see that. Let's go ahead and jump to the next week. We're looking at week 8 now, and I decided to switch it up just a little bit here in our opening contest. The Undertaker is actually battling Brock Lesnar, the next big thing. That's absolutely correct. Your eyes do not deceive you. We got Shawn Michaels calling out Triple H. Right after that, we got a tables match between Hollywood Rock and Eddie Guerrero. Then Chris Jericho is calling out RVD. And in the main event of the evening, we're running an Extreme Rules match because if Raw wants to run all these cheap little matches, oh, I can run some cheap little matches. So we're going to do Stone Cold versus John Cena non-title. Let's go ahead and check out the results of week 8. Undertaker has defeated Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, while you may have started as our champion, it don't look like you gonna end up as our last champion. We got Shawn Michaels calling out Triple H. The fans grow tired of this rivalry, says our little sheet. So hopefully that ended the rivalry. I'm not gonna lie. We got the Eddie Guerrero defeating the Hollywood Rock. After that, Chris Jericho does call out Rob Van Dam. And then John Cena defeats Stone Cold Steve Austin in the main event of the evening. That is very, very interesting to see. So John Cena, to me, has earned a WWE Championship opportunity, if you ask me. Meanwhile, we have Torrey Wilson defeating Jazz for the Raw Women's Championship. We got Stacy Keibler doing a charity promo. Randy Orton defeats Goldberg. Trish Stratus for the self promo. And then after that, Kevin Nash and Chavo Guerrero lose to Nikolai Volkov and A-Train. And I hope that we're still winning. I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like it'd be kind of whack if we took the L on that week. And it looks like we took the L on that week by just a little bit, because they have a 1,621,000 to our 1,619,000. So we're only behind by a little bit. Let's go ahead and change that with week 9. Week 9, we were not able to use some superstars based on Raw using a power card, but I did put together a little sum to hopefully win over the ratings this week. In our opening contest, Jericho and RVD are battling it out because they do have that rivalry going on. After that, Victoria is calling out Lita. We couldn't use Lita this week, sadly, but they're going to end their feud at the pay-per-view, I hope. After that, we got Triple H battling off against Edge in our mid-card match. Eddie Guerrero is calling out The Rock because they got some stuff going on in the main event of the evening. Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin are battling John Cena and Brock Lesnar. I'm hoping that Brock Lesnar and Stone Cold end things here and we can go into a John Cena Austin match at the pay-per-view. I might still do that. I don't know. But let's check out the results of week 9. So RVD comes out the gate defeating Chris Jericho. The call out between Victoria and Lita goes not well. The fans are growing tired of this rivalry. We got Triple H defeating Edge. We got Guerrero and The Rock growing to a level 2 rivalry. And then we got Brock Lesnar and John Cena Cena defeating Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels. Now, in my head, John Cena already has a win over Austin, not once but twice. That means we got to do a title match, baby. And after that, we are looking and noticing that Bubba Ray Dudley has defeated the Iron Sheik for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. We got Stacy Keibler with a self-promo. After that, Trish Stratus does defeat Sable. Randy Orton does call out Goldberg. And then we got Torrey Wilson defeating Jazz in the main event of the evening. And it looks to me that we lost this week because of our mid-card match, which I thought honestly would have done a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie to you. But maybe, just maybe, we took the lead, baby, by 1,000 people, bro. We barely have the lead. But it's pay-per-view season, and it's time to take the lead even more. We have arrived to week 10, aka tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my. When we kick things off with Victoria versus Lita in a TLC match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Afterwards, we're going to do a little charity promo with Brock Lesnar. Then we're going to go move into a tables match with Chris Jericho versus RVD. Then after that, we got the Undertaker in charity promo to raise up his popularity, hopefully. We then move on to an Extreme Rules match between Triple H and Shawn Michaels. After that, we got Eddie Guerrero in a charity promo to hopefully raise up his popularity. In the main event of the evening, we got Stone Cold Steve Austin versus John Cena for that WWE Championship in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. And oh yeah, by the way, I used the power card last week that made it so Raw couldn't book one of their champions this week. How does it feel? I don't know, but let's take a look at these results. Ladies and gentlemen, we absolutely dominated Monday Night Raw. This time, our opener, mid-card, and main event all did better than theirs, baby, and I knew it would. Lita is once again our women's champion as she defeats Victoria in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. The rivalry is complete as well. You love to see that. Absolutely you do. Chris Jericho has defeated RVD with that rivalry ending up here as well. We then have Triple H defeating Shawn Michaels with that rivalry wrapping up, and that means that Triple H is now probably in prime position for a little opportunity. And after that, Stone Cold Steve Austin is still the WWE champion as he defeats John Cena in the main event of the evening. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Raw had up, and Raw did nothing compared to us, bro. Bubba Ray Dudley and the Iron Sheik. We had Trish Stratus versus Sable. We had Jazz versus Stacy Keibler. And then in the main event of the evening, A-Train and Nikolai Volkov faced Chavo Guerrero and Kevin Nash, defeating them. Coming out of that week, we have now taken quite the lead over Monday Night Raw, and I mean we are at 1,853,000 compared to their 1,776,000. So I'm feeling pretty damn good right now. But let's go ahead and move on to the next week. Week 11 is as follows. We open things up with the Doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena battling off with Shawn Michaels. We got Brock Lesnar calling out Stone Cold Steve Austin because he ain't done with his bald head ass. We then have a new signing in Scott Steiner going up against Rey Mysterio, who we haven't seen in quite some time. We then have Lita doing a little advertising thing as our women's champion. After that, Stone Cold Steve Austin is actually battling Chris Jericho in our main event of the evening. So let's see how this is going to work out for us in the results. Honestly, going into this show, I knew our mid-card match wasn't going to do that hot. However, I think we still survived a little bit in the lead. Nevertheless, Shawn Michaels does defeat John Cena, which is pretty cool because that means Shawn Michaels is raising up in the ranks, if you ask me. We had, of course, the Brock Lesnar Stone Cold call out that moved their rivalry to a level 3. We got Scott Steiner versus Rey Mysterio. We had Lita with the advertising, and then Stone Cold Steve Austin did defeat Chris Jericho in our main event of the evening. Now, Raw put up a discard against us with Kevin Nash defeating Nikolai Volkov. We got Jazz and Torrey Wilson doing the dang thing. A-Train, Iron Sheik, Chavo Guerrero, and Bubba Ray Dudley are doing what they do. We got Sable in a charity promo, and Randy Orton defeats Goldberg, which, I mean, you know, they used the tables match a couple times. I'm thinking we might need to do that on the next card. But is SmackDown still in the lead? That is all I care about. Yes, we are. And it's almost by over 100K, which you love to see that. Week 12 is looking as follows. We got Shawn Michaels having an Extreme Rules match with John Cena as they run it back from last week with a little bit of a hardcore match this time. We got a new signing in Whitney Quaid, which is a free agent I picked up from the local talent, doing a role change to turn heel. And after that, we got The Undertaker going up against Chris Jericho in a tables match. Following that, we then have Lita calling out Whitney Quaid because who are you to come here? You don't even go here. So Lita's going to do a promo on Whitney Quaid. Hopefully, it starts up a rivalry between those two. And then we're going to have Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Brock Lesnar in a non-title match here on SmackDown. Let's see what the results are from this show. You know what, man? I'm very surprised we won this week, honestly. But nevertheless, John Cena does defeat Shawn Michaels. We then have Chris Jericho defeating The Undertaker, which is pretty... Oh, no. John Cena's hurt for 2 weeks. Oh, that's not good. We're going to need to fix that. Jericho does defeat The Undertaker. And in this one, Brock Lesnar defeats Stone Cold. And they are a rivalry of a level 4. That is huge. Meanwhile, on Monday Night Raw, they did an Extreme Rules match. Didn't get them anywhere. Between Ric Flair and Chavo Guerrero, we had a nice little, what looks to be a tag match with Jazz and Sable versus Trish Stratus and Stacy Keibler. And in the main event of the evening, Randy Orton did defeat Goldberg. So that's pretty cool to see as well. But did I retain this week? I feel like it's obvious that we did, but I just need to see it. Yes, sir, we did, but it's getting a little bit too close for comfort as we're heading into the final few weeks. So let's jump into the next week. Week 13, we're opening up with a talent we stole from you, Monday Night Raw. Goldberg is going up against Chris Jericho in a hardcore match. Right after that, Stone Cold Steve Austin cuts a scathing promo on Brock Lesnar. You want to be the next big thing? Well, at WrestleMania, goddamn son, you're going to get your opportunity, as it's going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin versus the next big thing, Brock Lesnar, for the WWE Championship. We then have Whitney Quaid going up against Lita. After that, The Undertaker is calling out the Doctor of Thugonomics. You want to beat my streak that's starting up here around these parts? Well, then go ahead and try, kid. After that, in the main event of the evening, Brock Lesnar is battling Shawn Michaels in a hardcore match. Let's go ahead and take a look at these results. No, honestly, I wasn't feeling too good going into this one either because we just debuted Goldberg, but nevertheless, Goldberg does defeat Chris Jericho in his debut. We had a nice little call-out segment. Whitney Quaid defeats Lita, which is actually huge right now. That raises them up to a level 2 rivalry. That's awesome to see. We then have Brock Lesnar defeating Shawn Michaels in our main event of the evening. Brock is on a roll right now. Meanwhile, over on Monday Night Raw, we're kind of seeing the same old things once again. We got Stacy Keibler and Trish versus Sable and Jazz. We got Randy Orton in a self-promo. Chavo Guerrero does defeat Ric Flair. Kevin Nash does defeat Nikolai Volkov in a little call-out promo. And Bubba Ray Dudley does defeat the Iron Sheik in our main event of the evening. But you know what? We win. We do. We are still ranked 1. You love to see that. As we, they're coming back a little bit. It's still close. It's still close. It's anybody's ball game right now. WrestleMania is going to have a lot of implications, let me tell you. Go home show to the biggest show of the year, WrestleMania, and we're opening things up with John Cena versus Shawn Michaels. After that, Stone Cold Steve Austin's going to do a call-out promo on Brock Lesnar and say, well, goddamn, son, you want to earn yourself a shot? If you want it, you got to earn it. And in the main event of the evening, I want to see 2 Caged Warriors going at it. So it's going to be Brock Lesnar versus the newest SmackDown next big thing, Goldberg, with the winner facing me at WrestleMania because he wants to give Brock the shot, but Brock's got to earn it still. So we're going to have Lita versus Whitney Quaid, and then in the call-out promo, it's going to be The Undertaker and John Cena. In our main event of the evening, Brock Lesnar will be facing Goldberg inside of Hell in a Cell. You know, I booked a Hell in a Cell match. I was kind of confident going into this one, but we barely got a win, it looks like, here on this week. Nevertheless, though, John Cena does defeat Shawn Michaels in our opener. It looks to be that John Cena is injured for 2 weeks. Oh, no, right before Mania. That's not good. And the fans have grown tired of the rivalry of Austin and Lesnar. Oh no, this ain't good. Nevertheless, though, Lita and Quaid have a level 3 rivalry. The fans have grown tired of John Cena and The Undertaker as well. That's really not good. Nevertheless, though, Brock Lesnar does defeat Goldberg here in our main event of the evening. Looking over at Raw, they open with a title match, and Bubba Ray Dudley is actually injured for 3 weeks, and he's the WWE champion. That's hilarious. Nevertheless, though, Torrey Wilson does call out Jazz for a level 4 rivalry. We got Trish Stratus going up against Sable. A-Train cuts a promo, and then Nikolai Volkov defeats Kevin Nash in the main event. Now, are we still in the lead? That's all I care about. Are we still in the lead? Are we still number 1? We are still number 1 by over 50,000. I think we're about to do it, y'all. I think we're about to defeat Monday Night Raw. So let's go ahead and jump over to the biggest show of the year, WrestleMania. WrestleMania is upon us. This is our final show, and we're kicking things off with the Women's Championship on the line in a TLC match with Lita facing Whitney Quaid. We got Scott Steiner cutting a self promo. After that, we got a little technical masterclass between Chris Jericho and Eddie Guerrero. RVD is going to call out The Rock right after that. Then we got a tables match with Shawn Michaels and Goldberg, a little special attraction, if you will. We then have The Rock calling out RVD. After that, we got an Extreme Rules match between bitter rivals John Cena and The Undertaker. After that, we got a call-out promo with Victoria and Lita. And in the main event of the evening, it's all on the line. A Hell in a Cell match between Brock Lesnar and Stone Cold Steve Austin for the WWE Championship. Without further ado, let's check out what happened at WrestleMania. Without a shadow of a doubt, we have dominated Monday Night Raw here at WrestleMania. We had a 5-star opening contest with Lita and Whitney Quaid, with Lita retaining her championship. Whitney Quaid, you are a star that should be pushed to the moon. That absolutely saved me. Whitney Quaid low-key saved the women's division in this episode because it was getting stale with Lita and Victoria, but that's all we could do after Raw drafted almost all of the women. So we got Scott Steiner with a self promo. Chris Jericho did defeat Eddie Guerrero. Shawn Michaels defeated Goldberg. After that, John Cena defeated The Undertaker. It was a rivalry complete, but John Cena got injured for 1 week. It doesn't matter. It's the end of the whole shebang, so it's all good. And at the very end, Brock Lesnar has become the WWE Champion with a 5-star match against the Stone Cold Steve Austin for the WWE Championship. Now, Monday Night Raw, this is what they put up against us. They didn't even put the WWE title on the line. How sad for them. Nevertheless, though, Chavo Guerrero defeated Ric Flair. Stacy Keibler did a little self-promo. We had Sable defeat Trish Stratus. You had A-Train in a little promo. They had to get a local talent themselves, it looks like, as Randy Orton faced Roberts. I don't know who that is. But then we had Iron Sheik versus Nikolai Volkov. And in the main event of the evening, Jazz defeated Torrey Wilson to win the Women's Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, your boy has done it again. I am now 2-0 at this MyGM thing here on the channel with the SmackDown Here Comes the Pain roster set. We had 2,167,000 fans to end up against Raw's 2,029,000. That's 100,000, 29,000. You get the point. Nevertheless, our ending champions were Brock Lesnar and Lita. At the very beginning, Monday Night Raw was getting the upper edge on us, but after a little while, we took off and we never looked back. If you guys did enjoy this MyGM mode, comment down below. Let me know what other type of rosters you'd love to see here in the future on a MyGM. And make sure, if you want to see me use this roster set in a universe mode video, this video must hit 1,000 likes in the first 24 hours of it being uploaded. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you're new, or we're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. And as always and forever, take it easy though, guys. Peace!